There are many ways to look at the Model View Controller, or MVC way of building software. To keep it extremely simple, I offer you this basic example of a to-do list application. The user of your application or website will see your views. Views will be the front-end code, such as HTML that the user sees when they arrive to look at the to-do lists. The views are also the form that allows them to fill in items to add to the to-do list. When data needs to go to persistent storage or a database of some kind, such as storing the to-do list item that was just entered into the form into your database, that code will reside in a model, which leaves us on how to connect the view code to our model code. This is our missing link, controllers. Controllers help us fill in the blanks to validate information that comes from the forms to set up how we handle the logic between the view and the database and manage any errors that might occur in the operation of our application. If you like bullet points, here you go. The model. It contains database-related code. The view. It will contain our user interaction code. The controller. It links the view code to the model code, as well as a few other miscellaneous items. As your experience grows, so will your understanding and opinions of what MVC means to you. In this course, we'll concentrate on the part of the MVC pattern that the users of your site see, the views. Can we retire the tried and true index.php file we've seen so often as our homepage? No need. Let's just repurpose it as a front controller. As a simple definition, let us say that the front controllers are a jumping off point for all of the traffic that comes to our site, so that all requests and responses are directed through the index.php file, where they may eventually move to our controllers, serve up our view code, or in the future, make updates to our database. The index.php is our first step for our entire application. To see this in action, we're going to use a micro framework as our base. It's called Slim. You may be wondering what a framework is, or do we really need one for such a simple website? Well, yes, we do need one, but we really only need a micro framework. Speaking generally, a framework is a software structure that provides us with some generic functionality that can modify to our own needs. Slim gives us this generic functionality we need in a website, application, or API with none of the excess code. If we need more functionality, such as templating languages or the ability to send emails, it is extremely easy to add the code that exists in Slim and making it custom for our needs. Here is what Slim gives us from the start. It gives us routing. It gives us HTTP request and response items, caching, middlewares, sessions, and of course, overkill military-grade crypto. If you don't know what all of this is, try not to let it bother you. I will explain it to you when we get to the implementation. Let's get started by installing Slim.
So far, we have now installed Monolog and have been able to log to our app.txt file, all by using a package just from Composer, which is great. We haven't had to write a logger, we have only had to use a few lines of code to actually get some errors to log to a file for us. Now that's great, but we need to install the core or the base of what we're going to do for the rest of this project, and that is Slim. Slim is a micro framework that we're going to use for this project and for any project going forward that needs a nice stable base. To do that, let's go over first and find out about Slim from their website. So head over and open up a new tab, and I'm going to type in Slim Framework. All right, the first result for Slim Framework is where we want to go, slimframework.com. So on the explanation here, right up front, Slim is a PHP micro framework that helps you quickly write simple yet powerful web applications and APIs. So it only needs a few lines to really get going. So we'll get into this in detail as we progress through this project. But what we're going to start with is the user guide. So inside of the user guide, we'll see a Get Started, and in our Get Started, we'll see Installation. So we're going to install using Composer, and we just simply write require slim and then 2.star, which based off of the Composer wildcards would allow anything that's a version 2 point and up. So now let's go back over how we did it before and install it using Interactive Composer. So we'll go back to our console and type in Composer, Require. Then when it prompts us, we type in Slim. Okay, we can't see all of it, so let's make our console just a little bit bigger. We will scroll up to the top and then type in 0 for Slim. Now we hit Enter, and then we can just take whatever the latest version is, and then it's going to pull it for us and get our require statement set up. Once the require statement has been set up for 2.6, we're going to hit Enter because we don't want to install anything else just yet. So now it's going to put it in the Composer JSON and then run the install for us. So it's going to look for any requirements from Slim and add those as well. Okay, so it's added everything that Slim needs. I'm going to clear my screen here. It's clear. And then I'm going to bring it back down to another manageable size. Bring it down from here, and then take a look in our vendor folder. We might need to refresh. Here inside this folder is Slim and all of the wonderful things that make up the Slim framework. We'll get started using it next.